Hey everyone, I'm Deborah Boggs, and I have the privilege of learning about and interviewing Marion and David of Second Freedom. We're going to learn a little bit about their backgrounds, how they came together, what they're looking to do, and really excited to talk more with them. So we're going to start with Marion first, and tell us a little bit about your background and your experience.
Well, thanks for the question. I'll start with the end. For the last decade, I've been working as an executive coach and today as a senior executive coach with senior leaders, with their teams, and with the organization. And I help senior leaders become more effective in dealing with the unknown. I came to the United States in 2020, and up until then, I was designing and facilitating leadership development programs in Europe and actually beyond for large corporations. And I've been really enjoying that. And actually, this is my third profession. Just to give a brief, description of my journey. My first profession was as a stage actress. I studied acting in New York and went to a theater in Kentucky, and then ended up working for some theaters in Germany. And I must say, being an actress really helped me understand myself so much better. And maybe it was the beginning of a big discovery, which is that as an actress, you learn how to use your body as an instrument, yourself as an instrument. And I really enjoyed making myself an instrument in service of something. I think that was one of the big things I discovered as an actress. My second profession as a therapist was similar. I became a speech language pathologist and served children and their family systems, actually. And that's where I learned about systems thinking or systemic thinking. And then a natural consequence of that was to become a coach, a systemic coach. And since then, I've been really passionate about that, and I've grown immensely as a human being, and again, being of service to leaders and teams. I love working with leaders because they are in a position where they already feel often successful, and very effective. And then they come to a point where there's like, well, there's something else yet waiting for me. And that's where, as a coach, I love contributing and simply asking questions and holding the space and catalyzing something that lies already within them. So I do that passionately for individuals and teams and whole organizations today.
Wow, what an amazing background. Thank you so much. And David, same question. I'd love to learn a little bit more about you and your background and experience.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm also an executive coach like Marion. I work with individuals, teams, and organizations to help them learn the skills to deal in this VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And it really was born out of my own experience as a leader. I was working for the Nature Conservancy, spent about 15 years of my career in the nonprofit industry, and found myself in over my head as a leader. I was working for one of the largest and most successful chapters of the Nature Conservancy in the world, serving on the executive team, and really found myself overwhelmed, not really sure how to advance some of the major initiatives we were trying to advance because they were long-term in nature, they were more systemic. And so I enrolled along with a colleague of mine in an intense year-long leadership development program that only changed everything for me. It really helped me to reframe some of the challenges that I was dealing with. And I came back to the Nature Conservancy, came back to my life with this whole new way of thinking and being. And it was amazing and continues to be. It just put me on this wonderful growth trajectory. And so it was this embodied experience was one part of my life. The second part is that I was a triathlete and USA triathlon coach. And as a coach, I would have athletes come to me and they too would be in over their heads. They would be feeling overwhelmed, not quite sure how to get ready for the race they were trying to run. And I thought to myself, there's a lot of parallels between what I went through in my leadership development journey and what an athlete goes through when they come to me for coaching. And so started to develop training programs for these athletes that were more holistic, that were not just training their bodies, but were training their mind and their spirit. And a lot of these athletes are also executives. And so they started to say to me, David, we're having benefits way beyond racing. Have you ever thought about coaching at an executive level? So I started getting into certifications and learning about that space. and really found those parallels to work well of now we're not just training athletes to get ready for races, we're training leaders to get ready for leading, because I'd been through it myself. So that's how I got to today. And I love what I get to do. I love getting to work with leaders and helping that light bulb come on for them as it did for me.
Wow, that's amazing. The breadth and depth of experience that both of you bring to Second Freedom is amazing. Such different backgrounds that really bring together and really complement your work. So I'd love to kind of dig into that a little bit. Marion, can you tell us about how the two of you met and what caused you to combine your expertise into Second Freedom?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, the two of us, we met on the beautiful island of Madeira in Portugal, actually in 2019. And it was in the context of a global meeting of Abercon is the company, they're closely affiliated also with McKinsey, and we both became facilitators after their method. And we met for, I don't know, just maybe 10, 15 minutes. And that wasn't actually, at least for me, the moment where I felt like, oh, we're hitting it off. It was only until the year after, last year, when we were on a call together, where we realized that we both share this passion for human development, and actually more in specific adult development theory and its application for leaders and organizations. And just very briefly, it's about, how we as adults, not just as children, but as adults, go through stages of development that only changes everything, like David already said, where we make meaning of the world, in different qualities and ways that once leaders know about that, they can really make choices and make decisions and lead from a totally different level of consciousness. And so we started exchanging. We designed a program and facilitated it for McKinsey consultants. Grew together more and more. I realized, there are bumps, sometimes, not being so easy, some challenge from outside or also between us. And I think that was a wonderful, natural way of getting to know each other and getting to love each other, and really realizing that what we want to bring into the world, we share so much on a deeper level that it really makes sense for us to combine forces. And so, yeah, here we are.
Oh, that's really interesting. Thanks so much for sharing. And now I'm going to ask both of you this question, but I'd like to start here, with you, David. Now that the two of you have kind of combined forces and are launching Second Freedom, what is it you're trying to do in the world, and what will success look like for you?
Well, I'll answer on two levels, and then I'm sure Marion will answer on another. Is one for me is having had this embodied experience of having the light bulb come on, of really shifting my mindset and my skill set as a leader. I want to help other leaders, and we want to help other leaders have that light bulb moment where it's like, wow, I have been so frustrated, so overwhelmed, and now I feel like I'm ready to run the race that I've been asked to run as a leader. And so that's part of it for me, is really helping that light bulb come on. And then second is on a very personal level, I'm the father of an almost 11-year-old boy. And I think a lot about the world that I am and we are helping him to inherit. Every night I put him to bed and I put my hand on his back and I think to myself, am I doing everything I can to make the world a better place for him? And I believe that working in this space with Marion in the work that we're doing to help leaders really evolve their consciousness, I can't think of anything more important to be doing. So that's why I love what I do.
Wow, thank you. And Marion, same question. What, I know David had mentioned you were going to take it to another level, but tell me about kind of what you're looking to do in the world and what success looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually also have 2 points, I believe. And one is, as I look in my life and my own development, I discovered, I would say, right from the beginning as an actress and then also as a therapist and as a coach, that what my greatest joy is, my bliss, you could say, to speak with Joseph Campbell's words, is to be of service to others and provide a space and skills and capacity so that others can bring forth their full potential. So that's one thing. And that obviously required that I also evolve myself and face myself. And what I have found in the work with adult development and in the work between David and I is this idea of first freedom and second freedom, which is first, how do I become free of what other people and society expects of me and thinks of me? And I saw that also being a requirement for effective leaders out there as my clients. And now, looking at the world today, second freedom seems to be like, we really have a challenge here, and there are ideas and recommendations we can provide to grow into second freedom, which means becoming free of yourself. So obviously this needs to be something that we work on ourselves, that I work on myself. And as I do that, I just feel this urge to say, okay, if this is helpful to leaders and organizations, which I think it is, then I just love providing that, and entering that space as I am continuing to be on my journey, of course. The other level is of, my idea, our idea is that power today lies in corporations, in business contacts. That's where the impact is created that has that creates results societally, economically, environmentally, just on every level. So it makes sense for us to work on systems that have so-called system boundaries and to help them transform and grow into their next level, whatever that is, in terms of development. And the idea is if we do that, one system at a time, and maybe it'll be contagious, and, we'll have more and more people do the kind of work together with us, that we can actually lift globally, a level of consciousness that'll help us make decisions collectively that will have an impact on the world in the way that we all want to see, so that we don't keep harming ourselves and instead, move in a direction that we actually all long for and that we know is possible.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much both for sharing, and I appreciate getting to know you guys a little deeper here, and thanks so much.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.